My number 2 is Papo E.O.
Oh wow, yeah.
PlayStation 3 indie game.
Yeah.
Indie game. I guess it is. So you know about it, I assume.
Yes,
from what you said. So if those who don't, I think it's set in Venezuela. I'm not sure, but you play as a little boy called Kiko something, and he runs around these like favela type backgrounds, and it's in a kind of weird dream where he can manipulate the world around him in specific ways. So he'll run up to a building and it'll have an outline of gears on it, and he'll press against it, and like a whole house will lift up and turn into a bridge, or he can sort of twist a key and it'll turn, shift the environment and move it up and down, like in Inception, when the world turns on itself.
Yeah.
And that's in Inception. Really cool effects, and it looks really, really nice for a download game. And then he has his friend who's a monster, a big monster who loves to eat coconuts and falls asleep. And you can jump on his tummy and bounce off him to get to higher areas. But if he eats a frog, he goes nuts and tries to kill you. And you have to calm him down by giving him some poison water. And the whole thing is this rather heavy-handed, but still quite skillfully done allegory for the creator and his relationship with his father, hence the name, which just means dad and me. It outlines the fact that it is allegorical quite ostentatiously at the beginning. It basically says, like, to I can't remember what it says, I'm paraphrasing now, but it's basically like, this is to my sisters for all that we suffered through, or something like that. And it's some dark stuff in there. It's not difficult to read between the lines, because it's not even between the lines, it's fairly obvious. Occasionally it will drift off into this dreamlike, even more dreamlike scenario involving a car, and maybe someone got knocked down or something like that. I don't know, I'm not far enough into it yet, which could be completely autobiographical. Again, I'm not sure, but it's not perfect by any means. It has some real glitchy problems at times. Dealing with the monster can be a pain in the arse, but it's one of those games I'm prepared to forgive, because A, I like games that are about something, even if they're a bit too heavy-handed in saying, look, I'm about something. And B, I like the puzzles. Some people have likened it to a game like Dear Esther, where you just kind of walk through it, but like you, I'm a bit stupid when it comes to puzzles, so I've had to use my brain a fair bit, and had some satisfaction in working out the puzzles a few times. And it's got a really odd and unique charm to it that doesn't feel like or look like anything else. Weirdly, I tell you what's really weird, it reminds me of Shadows of the Damned, and it's not because of the way it plays, it's not because of the way it looks, it's not because of the humour, it's nothing about it, apart from just ever so small things in the way things sound and move. There's one bit where a thing turns into a centipede, and it has a curly thing on top of its head, like that weird sushi fish in Shadows of the Damned. For some reason, it just kept reminding me of Shadows of the Damned. I don't know why, but that's just purely a personal thing. It's nothing like it, and I shouldn't have even brought it up, really. But I like the game. I'll definitely play through it and see what I think at the end. I like it at the moment, but it might fall apart yet. But it's not. It's nowhere near as complete or as like easy to recommend and easy to enjoy as something like Journey. It's definitely a game with issues.
Is it actually developed by Sony in-house as well?
No, I think it's by a Venezuelan guy, and I think maybe he's got backing from Sony. But it feels oddly sketchy for something that they've got behind, because those games are Indian spirit often, but they're not. They feel so polished, like that game company games and the other stuff they put on PSN. Whereas this does feel a bit more like you download it from Steam for £5 and you go, okay, well, that bit's fucked. I've fallen through the building there, but whatever. There's some nice ideas here. It feels more like that, but I like it. How
much is it?
It's £12, so it's not cheap. That was the other kicker. It's quite expensive. I decided to just suck it up in the end and thought, I want to see what it's all about, and that's still a third of the price of a normal game. So,
it's really. It's one of those games where the critical reaction is so varied that I'm instantly drawn to it.
Well, there is a trial that lasts a decent amount of time, which is what I did. I got the trial and then chose to pay after it's a good 40 minutes of trial, so I definitely recommend checking that out.
Oh, okay, I think I might do that. Yeah, that sounds really interesting. There's something about Sony releasing downloadable games. I'm listening, basically. If it's somehow,
completely.
because if it's...
That's the thing they've done best, I think, this generation.
Yes. Yes, I'll probably agree with that.